Hello and welcome. This is an operations management presentation about strategic forecasting. I'm going to discuss strategic forecasting and why it is very important for business. Strategic forecasting is known as the ability to see into the future and make educated predictions about any number of production elements such as material sourcing, job allocation, transport logistics, and more. To start out, more effective production scheduling is a benefit of forecasting. Businesses are given a better chance at being able to predict future trends in things like demand with high quality planning and coordination. This will meet the expectations of customers who want to buy products, and demand and supply conditions are also met. Another benefit of forecasting: inventory management and reduction. This will help with understanding the ratios between the number of customer purchases and the number of products that are necessary to accommodate as many orders as possible, well, and also be able to increase the number of deliveries. Strategic forecasting helps businesses maintain finances more efficiently. And to do that, a good example would be to reduce costs from extra material for certain products that was left unused, and costs that connect with important production duties that involve managing job positions, raw material sources, and duties either in office or with customers. Another benefit of forecasting: optimized transport logistics. Forecasting gives companies a chance to evaluate their plans for delivering products to customers and make improvements in terms of efficiency by simplifying the routes. And last but not least, the amount of satisfaction from customers has a great increase. Forecasting demonstrated with simplified, efficient, effective, and accurate approaches and improves a company's functional and production patterns can increase more satisfied customers and expand more business growth even by a little bit. But there are sometimes the growth can expand by a lot. Forecasting limits on labor models. Forecasting has two major types. Qualitative involves information from sources such as sales employees. And an example would be receiving information quite often from a business's departments that includes sales or even from the customers. There's quantitative forecasting. That is when data from the past is used to make future predictions. And numbers from data that came from before would be a good example. For practices purposes, leaders and managers of a business would work with both major types of forecasting together combined. Forecasts are not always going to be accurate, but if they're accurate, they make a really important difference for a business that gives greater value. Limits that involve individuals involve qualitative forecasting. It is important for all workers from all departments of a business to coordinate well with each other and build very good teamwork skills to effectively bring results of high accuracy and that they are positive and continue to make improvements. Consumer surveys are an example of something that is not a good idea because of how misleading they can be, in that customers tell sellers what they want to hear or give business to sellers, simply. A customer may purchase an amount of product, and after a short period of time, they may no longer follow through with their purchase. These are examples of limits that involve individuals. Now let's move on to some limits that involve economic predictions. Limits that involve economic predictions involve quantitative forecasting. A good example would be forecasting that uses data from the leading indicator series such as money supply and stock price information. And it involves a lot of mathematics. The highly significant conclusion is history predicts the future. Sudden changes in the market will decrease the accuracy of the results. Job planning features and forecasting impacts. Here are 6 different features of job planning. Job planning has a persuasive feature in that the lead or management will take charge of the planning at various levels of the business. Job planning has a futuristic feature in that it focuses majorly on the prospective outcomes, which is an important feature of planning. Planning here means predicting based on what future possibilities the business runs on. Changes involving legal matters that involve social, economy, and technology aspects are absolutely required as part of the planning to make sure future aspects are used to meet goals. Job planning has a feature where planning incorporates decision making. In this case, planning is used for determining which decisions are better and that selecting the decisions that give the best benefits or in other ways have much higher quality, and anything that lacks quality does not help as much will be off the list. Planning is an essential function of management, and that feature, planning, is known as a very top priority, very first, before other functions such as employment, organizing, taking control, and directing. Without planning, lead and management will have a lot of struggles since planning provides all the guidance and opens up chances at accommodating the other functions. Job planning is continuous in that It never ever stops and therefore is known as a constant process. Plans are supposed to help with meeting deadlines, objectives, or otherwise help a business with making a major accomplishment. Planning is a process rather than a behavior. In this quality, job planning deals with all important tasks that are required to be done in order to make an operational success in a business. As long as everything is done right, planning involves following explicit steps in a proper order. And not doing so can lead to negative impact for a business. Planning should not be known as a behavior. Rather, it should be known as a process that defines the actions to be carried out as a way of implementation. These are 6 of the features of the importance of job planning. Job planning has been known as one of the top challenging tasks. One common reason would be the forecasting methods that are outdated because of the lack of quality in performance. Today, we went over how a business will be able to thrive by doing a better job with making predictions about the future with demand and supply patterns. More importantly, we discussed what is strategic forecasting and why it's important for a business. And we talked about job planning and how it helps a business to better improve. Thank you for coming to today's presentation.